not been able to enter this dungeon before.
You have the proper stone. I'll open the door. Go ahead.
The World of Xeen on 30 gold a day by Eerie the Cartographer. There is much to see in the world of Xeen. To give a complete description of all the wonders to be sampled in the 8 corners of the world is beyond the scope of this work. In these pages, I shall dispense a broad overview of the highlights that should be visited for a traveler to gain a working knowledge and appreciation for the magnificent land that is Xeen. By the way, hello Frankenstein. This work is arranged as a simple description of my travels. A traveler wishing to follow in my footsteps should expect to spend around 30 gold pieces per day on living expenses. Pardon me. The traveler should be careful to arm himself well with magic weapons and some sort of emergency teleportation device. Xeen, while beautiful, can be deadly. My journey began on the Darkside in Castleview Town. Armed with little more than a leprechaun flamberge and an orb of insect repellent, I set out for the town of Necropolis to see for myself whether the legendary city of the undead truly existed or was merely a fable. The trip took me over the mountains that lie to the north of Castleview and through the forbidding central desert. My experience as a navigator and mountaineer saw me pass these formidable obstacles. Necropolis was everything I had hoped it would be. The undead were everywhere. Zombies, skeletons, a mummy, even a vampire visiting from Castle Blackfang. I hear Queen Kalindra was kidnapped by Alamar and turned over to the vampires of Blackfang. If the traveler is worried about the hostility on the part of the undead, remember that they are people too. The undead are just as friendly as the living, possibly more so. Simple politeness will prevent misunderstandings from becoming lethal encounters with the forces of hell. After a brief but pleasant stay in Necropolis, I crossed the mountains north of the city by way of the Griffin Pass, avoiding Castle Alamar and hugging the edge of the mountains. I headed east until I came to Lakeside Town, a quaint vacation spot. Lakeside will refresh your spirit and revitalize your body, though much of the population of Lakeside is involved in the witchcraft industry. Have no fear, the witches only turn children into goblins. As long as you leave the kids behind, you'll have no problem at all with these charming and fun-loving ladies. I stayed in Lakeside for a few months before leaving. Before I left, I purchased a riding beast to speed my journey. A lone road connects Lakeside to the rest of the civilized world, and I set off down that road to find Sandcaster. Sandcaster is a bustling city of commerce and trade. Though the townspeople are mostly humans, elves, gnomes, and dwarves, the city still has something to entertain the thrill-seeking traveler. Sorceresses and wizards feed upon the helpless citizenry like fleas on a dog. Criminals from all walks of life wander the streets with impunity, free to use might or spells to rob from the innocent. All in all, a lively town, though lacking in the kind of high-quality entertainment places like Necropolis and Lakeside can serve up. Quickly growing bored of the nightlife in Sandcaster, I once again set upon the road, this time traveling about southeast in search of adventure. I found plenty. As I ventured into the dense forest near the southeast corner of the world, my riding beast disturbed a nest of snakes. Startled, the beast reared up, dumped me from the saddle. I rose to my feet and seized the beast's tether, pulling its bloated face toward mine so that we could discuss the error man to beast. I never got the chance. My pain spell was barely on my lips when an arrow appeared in the side of the beast. The beast roared and wrenched the tether from my grasp. 2 more arrows streaked from the forest and struck home. The beast stumbled a few steps and collapsed to the ground. I glanced wildly about me and saw barbarian archers closing in on 3 sides. I dashed for the 4th. Branches and thorns tore my clothes, scratched my skin, slowed my flight. The barbarians gained. Just as I could run no further, I came upon a clearing with one of the many travel pyramids. In the center of it, hope flared in my breast once again, and I redoubled my pace, reaching the pyramid as the barbarians burst from the forest. I activated the pyramid with the last of my strength. It's another person killed with fire. The pyramid whisked me away from my pursuers in the blink of an eye in a sparkle of energy. I found myself in the snow-covered hills near the town of Winterkill, a cursed and emptied town full of ghosts. Lonely Darkstone Tower was barely visible to the east. Fearful that the barbarians would soon find the courage to follow me through the portal, I set my sights on the hills to the north and began the weary trek through the snow. Many miles later, I happened upon a road, knowing that the road would eventually take me to the town of Vertigo and civilization. I followed the road east. The road paralleled the hills and led past one of the many dungeon entrances scattered about Xeen. I must admit that curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to explore this one dungeon. This was a mistake. The dungeon turned out to be the infamous Xeen arena. I didn't figure it out until too late. The place was barren except for a few piles of bones and a lone desk sitting at the center of a very large room. When I approached the desk, a large man appeared in the seat behind the desk and told me that since the place hadn't any visitors in some while, that he would just start the fight without further delay. Then he vanished. As quickly as he vanished, monsters appeared. There was a gargoyle, a giant armadillo, which looked a little like a member of the swine family because of its snout, a pegasus, a minotaur, a giant vulture, a crusader, a sewer rat, a centipede, and some sort of giant iguana. "Have at thee!" cried the crusader, lowering his lance and urging his horse forward. The rest of the monsters simply advanced without comment, implacably hostile. Needless to say, I bravely charged toward the exit only to find it blocked. The monsters followed. I sprinted for the desk. "Coward!" shouted the crusader, leading the pack. The desk was empty and unresponsive. Cursing, I ran some more, ducking and weaving behind ancient walls and crumbling pillars. With some clever maneuvering, I lost the monsters in the maze and leaned against a pillar to catch my breath. I could hear the iguana dragging its corpulent body nearby. The rest seemed further away. Looking down at my feet, I discovered one of the many corpses that littered the floor of the arena. Clutched in its bony hand was a ring of the elements and a wand of fireballs. No sooner seen than stolen, the iguana rounded the corner and stopped, belly heaving as though it were going to be sick. Its mouth opened slowly, dramatically, and then it belched forth a stream of acid. I covered my face with my hands, expecting the worst. Instead, the acid lightly singed my hair and clothes. The ring had saved me. The dragon blinked slowly at me, surprised that I was still alive. Obviously not one of the brighter models. I leveled the wand and fired off a withering blast of heat and smoke. The monster staggered, but it remained standing. It went through its sick routine again and covered me with more acid. I fired the wand again, it covered me with acid. I fired, it fired, I fired. Finally, the dragon fell on its side and died. "I have found you at last," shouted the crusader from behind me. "Turn around and meet your fate like a man." I turned. The crusader was there, flanked on either side by the gargoyle and the minotaur. The rest of the monsters were right behind him. Seeing my chance, I fired into the horde again and again, emptying the wand. When the smoke cleared, nothing but a black spot on the arena floor remained of my enemies. "That wasn't so bad," I said aloud, dusting off my clothes and straightening my collar. I walked to the desk. As expected, the arena master appeared. "Congratulations on your awesome victory," he gushed. "I'll send you to Vertigo now. Don't I get a reward or something?" "No, goodbye." Next moment, I was in Vertigo with only a hazy heat distortion in the air to mark my sudden arrival. With the arena and my hasty arrival on this side of the world becoming a bad memory. Yes, I know that was a typo. My journey was almost over. I knew that there was a travel pyramid just outside of town. First thing, though, was to get a hot meal and a room for the night. The tavern was right behind me, so I stepped inside and asked for the special of the day. Octopus soup with arachnoid garnish. Well, part of traveling is to try the local food, no matter how strange. The octopus was somewhat rubbery, and the arachnoid garnish tastes like chicken. Not bad, but both dishes could have used some more spice. After eating, I checked into a room and had a good night's sleep. The next day, I decided to explore Vertigo a while before I returned home to Castleview. It turned out that Vertigo has all the amenities of civilization, including a town mirror. The blacksmith shop has everything an adventurer could ask for. Everything from accuracy tridents to venom crowns. Nova scepters were unavailable though, and the blacksmith had never even heard of a JVC mode maker. The guild, however, was virtually barren of spells. They didn't even have the clairvoyance or cure disease spells, let alone heavy hitters like Resurrection and Starburst. They seemed to mostly carry the simple spells, like that rangers and druids used. The proprietor, an agile prestidigitator in his mid-30s, told me that the nearest known version of the clairvoyance spell was in the Witch's Tower far to the south, where the horn of Felissa the unicorn was kept. Well, rescuing some unicorn's horn sounded both dangerous and unprofitable. The seer within me told me that further adventures would give me a severe case of death, and that I should change my vacation to fisherman or alligator wrestler. My decision had been made. I left the town and used the pyramid to return to Castleview. This travel guide is complete, but there is one more piece of advice that I leave you to ponder. When the Sphinx has you baffled and Korak remains a prisoner, Tito their wolf, smile, and all will be forgiven. That made no fucking sense. But that's not really much of the point. Yeah, it wasn't really the point. The point was to sell this. Yeah, I wrote up a mock-up of the crossword puzzle. And unfortunately, the letters are kind of thin to really be seen at this resolution. I know it's only 450 by 360 or something, I don't know. But either way, it is the solution to the crossword puzzle. I had written it all down myself. There's probably a better version of it on GameFAQs, but this is the one I have. So we will do this now. Bones remains. That would be skeleton. Oh yeah, and every time you finish one of the answers, the water disappears. Snake poison. That would be venom. Could have swore I still had that light spell, but evidently I don't. No matter. Knight's attendant. That would be Page. Brute. Animal. That would be Beast. Employ an item. Use. Two-handed sword. Flamberge. Ellinger's Tower is located here. Castle View. Precious metal. Medin's Award, Fisherman's Friend. That was when I wiped out all the water dragons around Darzog Tower. You need entry to an amulet to gain entry here. That would be Sphinx. Yes. This one, a boar, a swine. Convict. Criminal. City of Sorcerers. Sandcaster. Castle Ditch. Moat. Relating to arachnids. Arachnoid. Unicorn whose alicorn was stolen. That would be Felista. Spell of Perception. Clairvoyance. Answer all the questions. I will do just that, Batanzi. Gremlin. A goblin. Nimble, quick, agile. Grotesque creature. That could mean anything. But if you were paying attention to all the green words throughout the story, one would need only narrow it down to the amount of spaces and the amount of letters in each word. So in this case, the answer would be gargoyle. To be honest, I don't think a gargoyle is that bad if you've got to know the person. Aquatic reptile. That would be alligator. Incantation. Spell. A bug, a bee, An insect. Sorcerer's favorite secondary skill. Prestidigitation. I spelled it wrong. Pooey. Prestid. Took a couple tries, but I got it. To make sure I can keep track of the crossword puzzle, I'm going to map out the entire floor of the dungeon first. Because believe me, I really do want to solve this crossword puzzle. Not only because I'm an addict, but because there is a huge reward for finishing it. You know, I probably should have turned on the mumble. Do I have to answer this thing in an order or just go with it? No. You just have to answer every single question, and it can be in any order. Although it does help a great deal if you map it out beforehand, which is what I'm doing now. And the reason is because you notice all the water in the floor, right? Okay, whenever you answer a question, the water just disappears and leaves behind nothing but stone. So that indicates that you've solved that part of the puzzle. Okay, where am I at? Kind of another problem with this place. You can very easily get lost. Okay, I'll go ahead and start up here because this is number 1. King's Staff, that would be Scepter. Priest, Magician, Druid. Movement spell, Time Distortion. Funny how I would know the spell name even though I've never once used it. At least not in this run of the game. During some of my some of my early runs of the game, I have had to use it to get away from the diamond golems, if you remember those a while back. Fright. That would be Fear. Spell of Transportation. Teleportation is a vital spell to have. If you do not have this spell, you will not win. Spooky. That would be Eerie. Rodent. Rat. I can't roll my tongue, unfortunately. Fighting Ring. Arena. Oh. Arena. There we go. Prophet. Seer. Sorcery, that would be magic. Range Climber. Mountaineer. Which is also the name of my of my local college's string of teams, like it's the West Virginia Mountaineers. Alarm. Scare. Startle. Imprisoned Queen. Kalindra. Not alive but not dead. Undead. Little Green Imp. Leprechaun. A wrapped corpse. Mummy! Desert lizard. Iguana. Savage. Primitive. Barbarian. The game author's initials. Yep, that would be John Van Kang. I can't say his name proper. He now runs the Command and Conquer franchise at EA, by the way. Map Maker. Cartographer. Half man, half bull. Minotaur. Star. Nova? A mistake. Error. Traveler on a quest. That would be a crusader. Bowman. Archer. Captive. Prisoner. Stern. Harsh. Severe. Subterranean drain. Sewer. How are we doing? We've got this section covered. Time to move back a little bit more. Way of transportation in the land of Xeen. Mirror. Enchantress. Sorceress. Armored Amel. Armadillo. Castle Beyond the Forbidden Zone. Alamar. Sphere Orb. What's going on? So why do you keep walking around with that about not answering the riddles? Again, mapping it out. Sorry, I haven't been able to look at the chat. I probably already answered that question already, but I didn't notice. I did notice the chat room. The map I drew out a while back is kind of in the way. Power, that would be energy. Tiara, crown. A three-pronged spear, trident. Fire, water, air, and earth. The elements. Trip and fall, stumble. Fairy tale, legend, fable. Buzzard, vulture. The winged horse, Pegasus. He had a pet dragon, Xeen. Wisdom, knowledge. Now I have to stop for a minute or two and map out the rest of the puzzle. Count Blackfang. That would be a vampire. Tower located in Troll Forest. That would be Darkstone. Freed from spaceship Korak. City of Ghosts. Winter killed. Spell to overcome weakness. Revitalize. Strength. Brawn. Might. Sorcerer. Wizard. Eight-legged squid. Octopus. Corrosive liquid. Acid. Wyvern. Dragon. A knight who prefers the woods. Ranger. Tie. Restrained with a leash. Tether. Castle Basanji password. Werewolf. Kind of a typo though, because when I originally typed in the password, it did have a space in it. But, you can't put spaces in crossword puzzles. Illness, disease. Lost the Holy Book of Elvenkind. Tito. Cure for eradication. Resurrection. Precision, accuracy. Underground jail. Dungeon. Half lion, half eagle. Griffin. Beastly nose. Snout. Myriapod. Centipede. City of the Undead. Necropolis. And with that, I believe I have finished. You may pass. For completing the puzzle, here is your reward. 5 levels permanent. Have a good day, Batanzi. Batanzi must go to work. And now that I've finished the crossword puzzle and gotten an extra 5 levels, I need to stop there for now because some of the monsters in there are fucking insane. Just to make it more simple, I'll have Nyung cast a power shield. I don't know why I said Nagoya. Almost done mapping out the rest of the world. Okay, I didn't forget anything, so we are good. Let's take care of that tower.
I see you have the key to this tower. You may pass, mortals.
Ah, brave adventurers. Perhaps you can help me. I need a dragon egg to mix into one of my potions, but I'm not brave enough to go further into the tower to steal one. If you bring me one, I will reward you. I see no harm in that. I think the secret of the dragon has something to do with forever, or really, really big. Ooh, money. Okay, who is in need of more hit points? You have to be pretty smart to survive a look in one of the crystal balls in the dragon cloud. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. I don't trust that druid guy. He seemed too eager to get his hands on a dragon egg. And he sure didn't look like he had no 10 million gold pieces. The Eye of the Dragon holds the silver key card. You are truly courageous. 1 million experience. Thank you so much. Now I'll just drink this potion and now he's a dragon. I feel so bad about doing this to this guy, but oh well. Dragon go dead. Tome of Great Experience. 10 million experience points. It's amazing. And another one of great experience. Oh, that looks like it hurt. Yeah, that kind of hurt. Let's try resting first. Then cast all of our buffs. Alright. Let's go ahead and cast a beacon.